Welcome to Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theater. This is Lisa Condit, and I am here with Steve Gigliotti. Steve handles the PR for Shen Yun here in New England, and Shen Yun is coming to the Hanover Theater Wednesday and Thursday evenings, 7:30 p.m. on February 6th and 7th. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you very much.
So, Steve, you handle a lot of the community outreach for Shen Yun, and I know Shen Yun is back by popular demand at the Hanover Theater, but why don't you tell people who aren't familiar with Shen Yun a little bit about the show?
Well, thank you for having me. We're really excited to be back at the Hanover. It's such a beautiful theater, and I know that the patrons there, that see Shen Yun year after year, really are happy that we're back. And as some of your viewers know, and some may not know, Shen Yun is a totally different performance year after year. In the off season, the troops are all training for every new season. So it really is something special and new and exciting every time that people go. A lot of people ask me, what does Shen Yun mean? In Chinese, Shen Yun is translated as the beauty of divine beings dancing. And the unique part about Shen Yun is the mission of Shen Yun is to revitalize classical Chinese arts and culture. And when you go to see Shen Yun, what you experience is the best, the very best of classical Chinese arts and dance. And classical Chinese dance is such a beautiful art form, and the pageantry of the costumes and the orchestra really are breathtaking, and it's something that if you haven't seen it, you have to, and if you see it every year, you'll understand why.
Well, and it is a beautiful show. I see that there are a lot of headlines when I look up Shen Yun and see, so what are some of the reviews where some people say it brings good health through beautiful art. Other people describe the music as phenomenal. You've got dancers who think that the dance is amazing. The costuming is fabulous. Do you have any comment there?
Sure. I mean, the best way to answer that is when I talk about Shen Yun to people, something that comes up again and again is that I like to tell people that this performance truly has something for everyone. It sounds a little bit cliche, but it really does. No matter what you're interested in, if you're a history buff, you end up leaving Shen Yun having learned so much about classical Chinese culture and history, the fables and the richness that go along with that. If you're a musician, the orchestra that goes along and accompanies the performance is breathtaking. To have a classical Western orchestra where the main lead instruments are classical Chinese instruments produces such a unique and vibrant sound that you really are not able to hear anywhere else in the world. And it also really is a show for young and old.
So let me ask you.
I can't say it's a children's show, but children really are captivated during the whole show.
Oh, I'm sure they are with all of the colors and the the sounds and the movement for sure. Let me ask you, how many people play in the orchestra?
Well, the whole troupe combined is around 100 people. The orchestra is around between 20 and 30 people,
Mm-hmm.
And it's a full orchestra. The orchestra aside, the full orchestra, talking about the number of people in the troupe, people always ask us how many people are in the whole troupe, and it's about 100.
Mm-hmm.
But when you experience the show, you feel like it's several hundred people actually on stage. The reason being is every time you open your eyes and a new part of the performance comes out, they're all wearing brand new costumes.
Wow.
And these costumes are all handmade for the show. So you really experience, one second you open your eyes and you're in, ancient Tang dynasty, and the next second you open your eyes and you're in the Manchurian court. So it really is something unique.
And so how do performers become involved with Shen Yun? I see that many of your performers are from a lot of different places.
Yeah, the performers really come from all over, and the unique thing about the performers is they all share the mission of Shen Yun, which is to revitalize classical Chinese arts and culture. And the Chinese dance, a lot of the performers from around the world, when they get involved with Shen Yun, their mission goes along with Shen Yun, and they're all interested in that mission to revitalize classical Chinese arts culture.
So let me ask you, are there new performers this year that hadn't been part of the troupe last year, or is it the same troupe that travels year after year, but with obviously different material?
Well, it's a great question because actually there are 3 simultaneous troupes that travel around the world. And I remember when I started, there was only 1 troupe and 1 orchestra, which is testament to how well the show has grown over the years. It now has 3 simultaneous dance troupes and 3 simultaneous orchestras that now travel around the world in over 20 countries.
Wow. So how many different places can they be seen here in New England? You handle the PR for Shen Yun in New England. How many different performances are you working on right now?
Right now we're working on Providence, Rhode Island, Worcester, and Boston.
Of course. And so out of all of the different acts and performers that are going to be gracing our stage and wowing the audiences, do you have a particular favorite scene or part of the show?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen the 2013 performance yet. So it's going to be brand new to me too. And over the years, I mean, there's a lot of memorable performances that stick out. You know, I actually tell people a few years ago, I forgot exactly which year that it was, but one of the skits, you know, Shen Yun, as I mentioned earlier, has a lot of Chinese fables, and it teaches people all these classical Chinese stories. So I'm sure a lot of the parents are aware of Disney's Mulan. The actual real story of Mulan was taught to the audience a few years ago. So I thought that was a really interesting thing. So the classical story of Mulan, which differs a little bit from the Disney version, was taught to the audience members.
Well, this show is scheduled to run about 135 minutes, including one 15-minute intermission. You get more information on our website at the Hanover Theater. We spell theater with an RE.org. Again, the show times are Wednesday and Thursday evenings at 7:30, February 6th and February 7th. Anything you really want people to come away with, maybe they hadn't thought about before in considering Shen Yun as one of the entertainment options coming up in the next couple of weeks?
Sure. I mean, I know that every year people that go to shows, you know, you're really picking where you want to go and what type of show that you want to see. But for those people that go year after year, I don't have to tell them why they go year after year. It's something that they look forward to, and that for many families has become a family tradition. But if you haven't seen it yet, it's something you'll be talking about for the whole year. Between the pageantry of the dance and the orchestra, you're going to walk away really feeling that it was well worth the time and money to go.
Okay, well, great. Thank you so much for taking the time, Steve, and talking with us this morning. And we look forward to seeing Shen Yun at the Hanover Theater in February. And I hope you have a great day.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.